let's open the box and see what you get in your kit. First of all, you're going to get your instructions. So it's a nice wee booklet. There's a wee bit for notes if you want to take it. Let's move this across. All your instructions. You're going to get your 24 pieces of calico, 12 for the front, 12 for the back. Your interfacing. So the interfacing has got glue on one side, so it's fusible, and what you're going to do is you're going to take 12 of your calico pieces and you're going to fuse that to the back, and it's going to stabilize this fabric, but it also means that when you're stitching and you're going from one part to the next, you won't be able to see the red thread through it. Okay, so you're going to get 12 pieces of interfacing. You're going to get 2 skeins of red thread. This is a 4-strand thread, so what you're going to do is you're going to peel it apart. I'll show you that later. Peel it apart and just use 2 threads, 2 strands to sew with. You're going to get your bias binding, which is your bunting tape for stringing it all together. And on here you will find your needle. Your needle is a crewel needle, and it's got a big hole, a big eye, and a sharp point. Okay, and then the exciting part is the iron-on transfers. Okay, so there's your iron-on transfers, and I'll explain how you iron these on and use them in a wee minute. You'll get 24 bits of calico in your kit and 12 bits of interfacing. The interfacing has one shiny side, that's the glue. So what we want to do is, using a medium iron, glue this shiny side down onto the middle of your calico square. And it won't take long. And this will just stabilise the threads at the back, and so it won't show through. Okay, and do it from the other side as well, just to make sure. Okay, next turn your iron up as hot as it'll go. And leave that to heat up a second. And you're going to get your transfers, and using paper scissors, cut roughly around your transfer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this down centrally on here. I'm just going to trim that off so I can get a good idea of where we're at. So we're going to take this transfer with the transfer down and centrally. And is the iron as hot as possible? Yes. But what we really do need to do is to protect this calico, because it might scorch. So I'm just going to put in a bit of spare over the top. And what you want to do is put it down and hold it for a few seconds, and then lift up and then check. Hold on to this so it doesn't move. Okay, it's not coming through yet, so we'll do it again. Now what you need to do this on a flat, hard surface. So a wooden chopping block or something hard with a tea towel over the top of it. No. And that's it starting to come through now. Okay, now put your hand over here. Once it cools down a bit, hold this down and get the other bit. What we're trying to do is not move the transfer, but make sure it's all gone down. And this will take a little bit of practice. These transfers should transfer 2 or 3 times. Okay, it's not there yet. You have to have a very flat surface. An ironing board is too squidgy. So what you need to do is, oh, that's hot. I can't see his feet. Let's just try and get his little feet in. Okay. 4 calling birds. Let's have a look. One more time. Perfect, that'll do. Just gives you enough of a outline to go around with your thread. Your skein of embroidery threads tends to get all mixed up and knotted and all the rest of it. So I take it to bits. I take these bits off, unravel it, and I wind it round something. I've just got a card and I've just wound it right round. So from there it's going to be easy to keep nice. So then I tend to take maybe the length of an arm and snip it. I wouldn't work with more than that because it will get knotted and you'll just get frustrated. So what I want you to do now, there's 4 strands in here. I want you to take 2 and 2 and slowly pull them apart. Take your time or it will get knotted up. Okay, and there's that one. Now they'll bunch up, so just gently tease it back out. Okay, there's one, and here's your second one. Okay, so there we go. So from there, you're going to take your needle, thread your needle. These are great needles. They're crewel needles, so they've got a big eye and a sharp point. And so from there, we're just going to do a back stitch. So let's start at the number 4. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to come up. Now your stitch needs to be about half the length of a grain of rice. Okay, so pull it up and I would hold on to that. Leave a bit of a tail and hold on to that. And then you're going to come up just before the start of, just after the start of the 4. So you're going to go down at the start and you kind of leapfrog underneath it and come just a wee bit in front of it and pull. And a back stitch is you're going to take your needle and you're going to go in that first hole, then leapfrog again, and you just continue doing that. Make sure you go into the same hole and then leapfrog again. Okay, so we've got to the eye, the top of the eye. So a French knot is you wind it round your needle 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You're going to try and keep it tight. You're going to go in 2 or 3 strands away from where you came up. Oh, no. Let's do it again. Keep your thread tight. Wind your needle around it 3 times. You're going to put your needle point 2 or 3 strands away from where you came in. you're going to use your thumb to keep that tight, and when you pull through it creates a French knot, and then you can keep continuing. This is how I put them together. So I lay one square down facing up with the pattern on it, I put another square on top and pin it together. Now I quite like a rounded corner, so I've just taken something round. It can be a coffee cup, a plate, whatever you like. Get a pen and just round off the corners. Making sure it's at the bottom of your design. And then I sew, let's get this back down to a smaller stitch. Because I'm going round corners, I put my stitch to 1.8 because it will make a neater corner. So I'm just using the edge of my foot to go all the way round, taking it nice and slowly, going round, stopping when you need to adjust. Do is I take my pinking shears and I'll just cut away. This will make it nice on the corners as well. Okay, take the pins out, turn it through. Use something with a blunt edge to go around your corners, just to poke them out a bit. You can go and iron it at this stage too, just give it a quick press. And then I put my stitch length back up to 3 again, and using the 1/4 inch, just top stitch all the way round. Taking your time when you're going around the corners again, there's no rush. And you just do all 12 like that. Okay, I've stitched out all the panels, I've taken my bias binding, I've put them at the top, I've left 6 inches at this side, and then I've laid the first one down and popped it in between and then pinned it in place, and then I've taken an inch marker and then popped the next one in, and then the next one in, and so on and so forth all the way along, and I've pinned these all in place. Now all I'm going to do is go to the end of this and I'm going to fold it in first, fold that back over. Sometimes you need a wee pokey tool or something just to put it into its place. Show it who's boss. Okay, so you're going to do that, and you're going to fold it in half again, and you're going to put it under your sewing machine. And lay it there, and then take it ever so slowly. I would probably have this on a setting of 3. I might actually just pop that in a wee bit more, and then go forward a few, back a few just to hold it in place. Now, I don't like sewing over pins, so take it out. And then when you go across, it will encase the top of your first pennant from your bunting. Take the other one out, making sure it's still catching the back as well.